Hello and warm welcome to Fen Tarot channel. I'm Natalie. I'm an intuitive tarot reader and spiritual coach. My purpose is to help the lost and heal the wounded by connecting you with your higher self and your spirit guides and your spiritual self as well. So I'm a little bit nervous, so I'm going to try to get it right, to get this intro right. This is Mystic Monday Live. So what does that mean? So this is a show that Jenny and I will be doing. There's Jenny. Did I point right? No. But anyways, there's Jenny.
I backwards too.
And we'll be talking about topics around the metaphysical, the esoteric topics, spiritual topics, and even one of the topics that we're going to be talking about today is going to be life after death. So not only is it going to be how do you cope with your life after you've lost someone that you love, but also what happens on the other side and how we able, us in our physical bodies on this side, how are we able to communicate with loved ones who have deceased and they're on the other side. It is very, very possible, and it happens all the time. And of course, Jenny can attest to that because she recently also went through a traumatic experience event in her life, and that changed everything for her. She already had a gift before that, but I'll let her tell her story a little bit later once I finish the intro. So what else? I have notes here, so don't mind me looking down. So are we still able to communicate with our loved ones when they cross over? What are some emotional and psychological barriers that come with grief? What can we do to get over those barriers and those roadblocks so we can continue our life as well? I do want to encourage you to join the conversation, join the chat. Please ask any questions you have. You can even call in. I'm gonna post the link a little bit later on after we've heard Jenny's story as well, and we've talked a little bit about the topic. And then you can call in, and in the end, so about 10 minutes before we end the show, I'm gonna do 2 lightning readers randomly, whoever wants to call in. That's it. That's my intro. Oh, before we dive in, please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me or follow us, both of us, on social media. I will post down on the description box Jenny's also social media handles. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and do you use Twitter as well, Jenny?
A little bit, but not quite. No, I can get on Twitter.
It's become too. And press the like button if you like what we're talking about and you want to join the conversation. So let's get to it. Right. So I'll just put that to the side. Those were my notes. So let's talk a little bit about what happens to us when we die. So this is from, I can tell you a little bit about, I have psychic abilities. So I know a little bit about, and I do know the feeling. I felt that feeling because I've been to the other side, not as an NDE, as a near-death experience, but because I've astral projected. I've also meditated and was able to tap into the other side and have my guides help me and sort of give me a little tour of what's happening. So I have an idea myself what's happening, but also these are experiences that I've received from other people who've had NDEs, and they've had a lot more vivid experiences when they crossed over, and that was just crossing over for a little bit, sort of like dipping your toes, and then they came back. They were sort of sucked back into their bodies. We will cover this topic of near-death experiences very shortly in one of the next Mystic Mondays shows. But at the moment, I just want to say that I'm talking as a spiritual coach and from personal experience. So what happens when we cross over? So it depends, and there are different levels, let's just say, of spiritual experiences on the other side. When people experience it differently, and it all depends how you've led your life here, and in what level you are, what ascension level you are when you cross over. Most people, we go through what we call is like an isolation or purgatory. A lot of people like to call it purgatory. I don't, because it kind of like it takes me back to a little bit my Catholic background and religion, and I don't like that, because purgatory just means that you're punished, you're in timeout. And it's not like when you cross over, you go to timeout. You go into isolation, but that's for you. That's for your spirit. To realize where you are, because sometimes, and most times, when death occurs suddenly and unexpectedly, and it's an accident or something like that, then it takes a little bit of time for the soul and the spirit to realize what's happening to them. We're not talking about ghosts. Ghost is a very different story, because a lot of people think that ghosts, the ghosts that you see in old castles or in your house or wherever, people think that ghosts are spirits that just weren't able to cross over. No, that's not exactly the case. Ghosts are energetic footprint. So the energy of the person who crossed over is so strong and so connected to their environment that it stays on this earth plane. But that is not a spirit. That is not what happens to you when you die. We all cross over in the end, eventually. Some people like to linger around a few days because they just want to gate crash their funeral, or they just want to check in on their loved ones and, find out what they're doing and all that. But eventually they do cross over, because the white light is there. And so they have 7 days basically to cross over from the time of death. They have 7 days where the white light will appear and will offer them basically a ride to the other side. Now, for those who don't want to cross over, which is a very, very minimal percentage, they will eventually find their way on the other side. They may linger a little bit more on here, a couple of months or weeks or whatever, but they will eventually cross over. So we're not talking about ghosts. We're talking about spirits. So once spirits are in isolation and they realize that, they're no longer in their physical body, they don't need their physical body anymore, because they are spirits and they're made of energy and they have a lot more power. You have a lot more power on the other side without your body than with your body. And so once they realize that, then what they have to do is really review their life. Because the reason they were here, the reason we're all here at the moment, is because we chose to be here. We have lessons to learn. Maybe we have some karmic lessons that we have to redeem ourselves from past lives. Maybe you want to be with someone who they've decided to incarnate now. And we said, I'll just incarnate myself too, because I want to be with this person. And I want to see what I can learn, what we can learn together, but in different roles than the roles that we had in our previous lives, or in the roles that we have on the other side. So everyone has to do a review of their life. So let me just explain also. A lot of people, when they come to me and they want me to do readings for people that have passed on, and they have crossed over, it's not always possible, because if the death has been very recent, the spirit, the soul, is not ready. They have a lot of work to do on the other side. So they're basically not ready to come here and communicate and chat with you or with me or with anyone for that matter, because they really need to figure things out, and their place on the other side as well, because it's been a while. We've been living on this earth, and time is it's relevant here, but it's not there. So they have to go through this isolation process, and then they have their guides that help them They really help them. They're like the nurses and the doctors and the lawyers. Like the guides have all these roles, and they're there to help us and give us the love and the guidance that we need because we feel lost. It's like a baby. When a baby's born on this earth plane, they can't see well, they can't even, they don't know how to use their hands yet or their feet. They're rediscovering, they're discovering the world and their body. How does that function? It's the same way when we cross over. We need to figure out, what our powers, how to use our powers, this energy that we have. So once this isolation period is over, then they just move on. Their guides will take them. Usually, what they do is they have to meet with the elders. The elders are the ones, well, we're not 100% sure. There are psychics and mediums that do channel the Akashic records and the elders as well. Not the elders per se, but they can channel and get information from them. I don't have that personal experience, but I do know that you do meet with the elders. You do meet with other souls, spirits, energies that are a much higher level than yourself, because they are the ones that are your masters. They're going to teach you. They're teaching you all about your new life there. Even though you've lived more on that side than on this side, you still have to shed your human experience and the ego and everything that comes with that, good and bad, being human. And so it's sort of like for a while, it's sort of like a university, like a college. You have to work. You have to learn, you ask questions, you're being guided. And there's always that pull. I miss my loved ones because, it takes a while for you to shed your human life, your life here. And so usually what they do is they pop in, but they don't communicate. So they pop in and you don't realize that they pop in. They could be popping in your dreams, They could be playing around with the TV while you're sitting there lying on the couch and watching TV. But you don't really, you think, oh, there's a problem with the remote, or there's a problem with my connection or whatever. But most of the time, it's not a problem with your connection or your remote. It's someone who's just visiting and they want to say hello. But because they haven't gotten used to their power, their energy, they don't know how to use that energy and manifest to us and show us that, hey, I'm here, but there is a very thin veil, that's separating us, that you can't see it. You can't see it. Our life is 3-dimensional. And to them, right? According to them, it's 3-dimensional. And according to us as well, we see it 3-dimensional. We don't see all the dimensions, and they're a lot more than 3, 4, 5 dimensions. So this takes a process, and they need time to figure that out and to realize and understand how they're gonna, communicate with us, or how they can drop in and out on this earth plane. So a few other things. Right. Oh yes, another thing. So a lot of people have asked me what happens. So a lot of people who have cared for, let's say, their elderly parents or grandparents who have been frail and sick and on their, let's say, last leg of their lives, a lot of them have told me, my grandmother or my mother, she kept talking to this invisible, she kept talking to someone the 2 weeks before she passed on. And I was confused. Who was she talking to? Was she losing it? But she was very lucid. Usually what happens is, especially with people who have health issues, or they have Alzheimer's, dementia, things like that, where the body is still going, but it's been under a lot of stress. It's been under a lot. It's a war zone. So they have a lot of health issues. What happens is, aside from the fact that intuitively, most of us do know when our time is up. Intuitively, we do. It's up to us whether we want to see it or we don't. We want to deny it. So, but most people who are severely sick and ill, they do get visits from the other side around a week or two before they eventually cross over. So brothers, sisters, children, pets, parents, godparents, whoever it was that's crossed over, they usually come in and they visit. Okay. And it happens and it's why does this happen? It's not only like an omen of death or anything like that, but it's just to soothe your soul, like to soothe the soul and to validate the fact that you can let go because we're here. We never went anywhere. We're right here. We're on the other side. We're waiting for you. We want to take your hand and lead you to the other side because it's beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful place where you feel bliss. I tell you, on the other side, you feel this amazing. I have goosebumps right now. You feel this amazing. Have you felt it, Jenny? Sorry, I'm just like, you felt it, right?
Yeah, I just did. It's beautiful. Love is beautiful. And I think that that's all you feel is just this love that you can't feel on earth, maybe. Maybe you can.
Unconditional love. It's that love that you feel that you're loved no matter what. People look like people. Spirits, souls look at you and you just feel the love, the warmth. You're confident. You feel great about yourself. You have no, weight issues or looks or, what do I look like? Or especially people who've been through accidents like burn victims and things like that, who've lived with burns all their lives. And then on the other side, suddenly they feel so at peace with their bodies, with their invisible bodies, this energetic body. It's not the body that we have. We don't look the same on the other side. But when we do appear on this side, we tend to choose the form that we had on earth so people can recognize us, our loved ones can recognize us more easily. But that doesn't mean that we look like that on the other side. So, and it's just an amazing feeling, and it's just such a beautiful feeling that it makes, for anyone who's experienced it or has meditated and has been to that level, or who has astral projected, who's felt that feeling, you will know that it's just, you're not afraid of death. I mean, personally, I'm not afraid of death. I am afraid of leaving my loved ones behind because I'm always thinking, what are they going to do if I'm gone? This is going to be devastating. It's going to change their life. But it's not personally. I'm like, whatever, when it happens, it happens. And then I'll be on the other side. And then I have a lot of work to do on the other side. And at least I'm going to feel amazing and I'm going to be in good hands, and I'm going to be at home with a capital H. Other points, I want to just go through the points and then we'll talk a little bit about Jenny's experience. So, and the other feeling that we get on the other side is this feeling that we have knowledge, infinite knowledge. We can speak different languages. We can read in different languages. We know information and we have this knowledge that we never had before. And we're surprised. Where did we get that from? Because we're connected to the divine, to the source. We're directly connected to the source. So suddenly we have all these feelings, this energy, this amazing magical, how am I going to say this? Like, not source, but light that changes everything for us. I hope I'm saying this because I hope it makes people feel better, especially for people who are mourning and who've lost their loved ones. Because one of the most common questions I get is, do they know I was there when they were, when they were dying, when they were leaving their last breath? were they in pain? I want to know they weren't in pain, because they were, needles were sticking out of them. They were on so much medication. No, because once the spirit goes, and sometimes the spirit leaves before the body shuts down. No, they're just in and out. So, and they're doing great. They're doing amazingly over there. And Jenny's going to tell us a little bit more about it. I just wanted one more point. What is important for everyone to understand is that, yes, death is very painful, especially when you're the one left behind, especially when you're left with the memories, the objects, the clothes. You're sleeping in an empty bed when you're used to sleeping with your loved one for many, many years, for a long time. Yes, it's very hard. Again, it's not a permanent thing, though. It's a temporary thing. And it's a temporary situation that you need to remind yourself, because you're not separated forever from your loved one. You're only separated for a certain amount of time on this earth plane, because over there, time is very different to what we conceive as time. So, and the other thing that's very important when you're thinking about it is that you can communicate with them. You just need to talk to them. You just need to talk to them, right, Jenny? You just need to ask them to come forward and send you a sign. So, and here's where Jenny should come in, because she has an amazing, very touching, very emotional story to share with you. But as you can see, Jenny is shining through. She's got the light, she's got the gift, and she has so much strength. I absolutely admire her and respect her. Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to do this with Jenny, because she is at the beginning of her journey, of her spiritual journey, because of what happened, especially what happened. I think it sort of like cut those earth cords, the cords, the strings that attaches to everything earthly, which is ego, insecurities, greed, all that. We all have those traits, right? So, and I think it would be nice to hear it from someone who's been through it, who's going through it, and what her experience is. And how does she communicate with her husband right now? So, Jenny.
Well, thank you. I first want to thank you, Fem Tarot, for inviting me to be on Mystic Mondays, because it's a great opportunity I couldn't pass up. I always said, and everyone who knows me can attest to the fact that I said I will never be on like any streaming device whatsoever, but here we are. The only reason I'm doing it is because you asked me, and if you see something, then I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to trust that, and if I say no, then I'm saying no to growth. So we're going to grow with it. So for those who don't know me, my name is Jenny. I met Fem Tarot. We're across the pond from one another, but I met her through the Up and Adam channel, because we both I love reality TV, but she was doing her lightning rounds, and I saw her, and I thought, I had this really strong feeling that I needed to talk to her. So I did. So basically, I'll tell you a little bit about myself other than that. And I also want to shout out to everyone who's from the Up and Adam community that's probably watching right now, because you guys are awesome. And we are Adam's angels, and I love that. And basically, I just wanted to say that I have a career in human resources. That's where I'm currently at. I have a blog that I like to write. It's my personal blog. It's called Girl Meets 40, but I'm not 40. Just saying, I'm not there yet. Okay. But I do, but that's okay. That's my point, is that 40 is like the beginning. You can start again at any age, no matter whether you've had a great past or not. You can start again at any age. And for me, I'm just sort of realizing that my blog is sort of about life and death and love. So that's kind of what that talks about there. I do have a very traditional background, so I even went as far as going to Christian faith-based university. So that is my background. I did go to Catholic high school, and I have very traditional religious views growing up, which has influenced me as well. I was in high school when I met my husband, and I was 18. I was a youngin', and we met and we were together for a long time. Basically, we were married on 11/11/11, which was always my childhood wish. I always saw it on the clock, which I also want to talk about synchronicities, because like I always see numbers on the clock. And then, so fast forward through all of that, we have this great relationship. We're both fire signs, so it was kind of fun, but but we get each other, and that's all that really matters. And 18 years ahead of the time, now we're going to fast forward 18 years, and we find out I'm pregnant and I'm having a baby. We're having a baby, and we're like, what's going on here? This wasn't in the plans, but it was in the stars. So we were very extremely excited and blessed. And then fast forward about another, I'd say 5.5 months, and it was 2:30 in the morning. My husband came to me and he said, I'm not really feeling well. And I thought, what are you talking about? I'm the pregnant one here. Like, I don't feel good. And I actually had like dislocated ribs. Did you know that children can do that to you in the womb? I had that 13 times happen. He kicked me. 13. Anyway, yes, 13 times. So here I am with these dislocated ribs, and then that's right, at 3:30 in the morning, he actually suffered a fatal heart attack, and he died instantly. He had a blood clot. I did go to the extreme, of doing the compressions for a long time, and it was a traumatic night. It was a traumatic night. It was a traumatic day. It was a traumatic weeks, months. In fact, the only thing that got me through was the advice I received, which was 1 second at a time, because if you go 1 minute at a time, it's just overwhelming. It's too much. Right. So during this time, though, and actually starting immediately, even before I realized what was happening, things started happening. So unexplained, unusual, I'd even say like visions, thoughts, sensations, knowing. And even at the time of this all happening, while I was doing chest compressions, my husband was behind me and to my left and above me. And that's when I realized things were not going as planned. So I started talking to him, telling him, get back in your body, but this was not working. Long story short, I lost my husband. It was very traumatic. And during this time, I've had a lot of growth. I've also been inside my house, very introverted, not reaching out to anyone, because for me, my spiritual growth was sort of an internal to start. It was very internal. I needed that time. So I was exposed. My eyes and my ears were sort of opened to what was going on around me. I sort of started piecing together the puzzles of why things are sort of happening. And it sort of led me to places like this, YouTube, which I said I would never do. So with all that's going on basically right now in the world, with the dawning of the age of Aquarius, which I'm very excited about, I think that a lot more people are going to have more spiritual awakenings like I had. And for me, it was kind of scary. And it was kind of like I felt almost like I was betraying my past. And it's not. In fact, it's not scary at all. It's very loving. It's very just open yourself up is what I would want to say. And I think a lot of people are doing that right now. For me, what I did was I went on YouTube. I searched and watched hundreds of hours of videos of people telling me about spiritualism and stuff like that, spirituality. And sometimes I would agree with things and sometimes I wouldn't, but I would pick up what resonated with me and what was my truth. And I didn't have anybody in my life that could guide me other than that. So that's why I think this channel or this Mystic Mondays might be able to hopefully help some of you that have questions, because I really trust Femme Tarot. I really like her energy. And I think that a lot of people are going to be drawn to that as well. Just like, it's just, you're drawn to one another. Many people said to me in the past little while that I'm crazy, which whatever. Maybe
for doing this.
Yeah, for doing this. Yeah, for doing this and for seeing things, hearing things, being open up to the other side. And I just want to say,
see it. You can't change how they see it. Eventually, even more people will wake up, and it will be just.
That's what I'm hoping, and for the people that do understand, they really reach out and give you that support. So I just want to reach out, give that support to anybody who might feel that they have questions, that you're not alone and you're not crazy, and that's okay if you are. I don't care. We all have a little bit of. We're all different. We're all very unique, and we all have our own gifts, our own talents. We need to explore what those are and just kind of ask more questions. So I now, fast forward to now, I have a 9.5-month-old little energetic baby boy. He's just like this little angel baby. And he's so cute. I mean, he's
amazing toothless, or
no, now he's got 7 teeth. Mama has not had sleep because they came in all at once. Oh, Lord help me. Yeah. So I was like, this little baby is such an angel. I can't be sad. I can't be sad for him. I have to make him laugh and smile, and bless him if he doesn't smile and laugh every day. And he's just filled with the spirit of his father. And that love sort of that I feel like I receive from my late husband overflows. I kind of vision a cup that overflows, and that kind of flows into my son. And he's just this happy little baby boy that he's just a blessing anywhere he goes. That was a tangible gift that my husband left for me. So that was beautiful. I don't think there's anything else that could have been more beautiful than that. But he also still is with me. I still have a relationship with him, which is where some people kind of like, what are you talking about? He's one of my main guides. I know that. Like he sends me signs every day. He sent me a bunch today. I know he's here. I know we're doing this together. So I'm really excited about that. And
Alexis says, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm just going to bring in some comments from the chat. Hi, Alexis. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Alexis. So basically where we're at right now is I am an unwritten book. I did mention before that to you, Femtero, that I have a good book. Like I wrote a good book about my life. Like I didn't actually write a book, but my life has a lot of good stories. Yep. But I want to write a new one, and I would like to do that together, like as a community, and kind of get everyone kind of involved. I think that would be nice. So that's where we're at right now.
Shan says, I don't know how Jenny picked herself up, and I don't know that I could have.
I love Shan and Van.
Hi, Shan. Hi, Dana. Dana is here as well. So I'm just going through a little bit. Gina B. Hi, everyone. Oh, thank you so much.
Hi, Dana.
Hermione. Hi, Hermione. She said she can't stay long. We just wanted to show support. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Oh, sorry, Jenny. I'm looking at them. Oh, I love Hermione. I love them all. I'm so excited. And I feel like we have a community already. You've talked to a lot of these people in lightning rounds on Adams, a lot of us on lightning rounds, and the healing you've done is just amazing. So for me, I reached out to you and got it was mid-October that we did a one-on-one session.
Right.
And I didn't know I was in a deep, dark hole. I was like, look at me, spiritual growth. And then all of a sudden you're like, girl, get a babysitter. Like you're like you're like, pick yourself up. Your husband needs you to like prepare for life because you have to keep going. So
yeah, sure.
I mean, you told those weren't the words you used, but you told me a lot of stuff that I remember, and it stuck with me. So so it was just really something that you kind of reached into a hole, put me out, and I think you've done that for a lot of people. So I just want to say thank you, because that. Like, I am here because of you, and I am so happy because of you. And my husband is like rooting for me, and I feel that. That's the love I feel. That's the love I identify with, that I felt when he passed, that I was like, what is this? And it's the love that I'm actually starting to be able to use it with other people that have passed and send their messages to their loved ones. And the only reason I know I can do that is because I recognized that it's the same feeling I get when Pete sends his love. So they're sending that love to them. That happened just that just happened on the full moon, October 31st, and that just keeps happening. So help me try and like figure out what to do and how to help people. But I just want to, I mean, that love from the other side, there's no boundaries. There's no boundaries.
There is no boundaries, and everyone needs help. Like even us psychics, tarot readers, you know, we also need guidance sometimes. It's overwhelming being in this world with everything going on. We have to deal with everyone else's tantrums and issues and personalities and everything. So sometimes you get lost a little bit. So you need someone to bring you back, to ground you, to bring you back to the path. And that's why I always say, you know, a spiritual coach or a tarot reader or a psychic is not replacing a therapist. By all means, that's not what we're doing. A therapist is a very different thing. It's science. It really helps. Most people, it really, really helps. But what we're doing is basically connecting you with your spiritual side, with the spiritual side, and giving you a little bit of a different overview and a different insight to things, and give you a different perspective, which might help you much easier to change your life a little bit, or the way you do things. Because we also get a lot of information from the other side. In your case, your husband, oh my God, he was giving you bear hugs. I was like
I know.
I was like, Jenny. She's like, I know. I feel it. I know he's over there, and I know he likes you. And I was like, Jenny, his presence is huge. He has a huge presence, and he's like a big lovable teddy bear at presence, you know, where he's like, I was telling Jenny that during our reading, because he has that feeling that if he likes you, he'd like to give hugs, and he's such
He does. He's so, I feel that thankfulness that he has. And I know he like guided me to you. And then that moment you were like, oh, I like Liverpool. I'm like, no, you don't understand. That's all he wants to do is talk about Liverpool. So this to him was like,
he connected us, I tell you.
I know he did. I know he did. And that's why when you asked me, I said, okay, I would say no to anyone else, but Pete's going to be so mad at me. That's my husband's name, was Pete. I said, he's going to be so mad at me if I don't do this. So
but he's not, because when we were chatting before, we both felt him. Like he was here, he was dancing around with us. He was like, you know, we both felt his energy. So Pete is happy. Yeah. Pete is happy.
I love him.
I know. I mean, I can feel the love. I can feel it from the reading. When we had our reading, how much you love him. Yeah. But what I love about you is that you love him, and you communicate with him, and you see him not as someone who's not here anymore. It's like almost like he's still here with us. Yeah. You talk about him in the present tense. You see him, you feel him, you talk to him all the time. I mean, internally. Yeah. And
out loud.
Sometimes, yeah. Great. And I love that, because I think this is what's helping you overcome this traumatic experience that you had, because that was traumatic. Yeah. And I want to ask you, tell us a little bit about the messages. Tell us about how he's communicating with you. When did you start noticing?
So we're right away, like I say, I felt like that he, like I had actually started looking into spirituality, like spiritualism and near-death experiences in particular, I think is what started me on it, because I was really fascinated with heaven. I love heaven. I want to go to heaven. I love that Pete's in heaven, but I wish he was here. And I wish, but heaven is a great place. A lot of people, I think, in this world miss heaven and they don't realize it. But we're here for a reason. We're here for a purpose, and we're here for each other. And I felt that overwhelming love right away, and it was just kind of that stunned, what's going on? I don't know, but Pete's here with me, and just know that. The first week, the cutest thing, actually, I didn't think I was going to mention this, but the cutest thing was the first week. I kind of like chicken nuggets. I went to Wendy's. I was pregnant. I can eat whatever I want. So I went to Wendy's and I got chicken nuggets. And the last nugget I always save for my dog. And because he's spoiled. And I pulled it out, but it was like this perfect heart. And it wasn't that it was a perfect heart. It's that I felt overwhelming. I knew it was from him. And it was that feeling. And I just was like, oh, I mean, he's funny too. Like that to me is kind of funny that he would use my chicken nuggets because he knows like I love that kind of junk. And I just mean the funniest things keep happening to me. This morning when I woke up, it was 7:25. You know, that's his birth date. That's how he kind of lets me know he's with me is 7:25 or 11:11. Because that was our anniversary. And his hugs are the best. That's when I first started feeling like there's no denying that he is hugging me right now. And I can feel it in my arms. I can feel it around and it's almost like pins and needles, but it's not. I can't describe it. It's not. It's just like, wow, you're just hugging me right now. And that's a really cool feeling. And I thought, is this really happening or is this in my head? When I actually contacted you, I think I told you this. I wrote down on the paper before I made notes because I'm like that. I wrote down on the paper, is he hugging me? And you're just like, I feel like he's giving me a bear hug. And I'm like getting the same feeling at the same minute. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I didn't even have to ask you. You just started saying this guy's hugging me.
Yeah, I was telling you, I mean, he won't stop. He's like from behind, you know, like when you're sitting down and
yes,
that's exactly the feeling. And I told you, and I think I messaged you afterwards, and I said, he's still here, Jenny. He's still here. I can't get rid of him. I've saged my room. I've saged my living room.
Was there a Liverpool game on? Was that the problem? Our honeymoon. We came home early from our honeymoon to watch a Liverpool game. Can we talk about Liverpool? Like, seriously.
And says, don't make me change the channel. No Liverpool.
She's a City fan. She's a City fan, I think.
No, Shannon.
She's got bad taste there, but she likes us, so that's okay. Sorry if you like City. I love that about Europe, that you guys are so into. Actually, Shan's from Canada like me, but you guys are so into football. We call it soccer.
Yeah. Obsessed. Europe, the whole of Europe.
I know. Obsessed. It's like you live and breathe it. It's amazing.
It's incredible. Now with lockdown, I mean, now that there are some football matches on, but I mean, the men, they're like, give them a hobby for God's sakes. Okay, there's no football. So like, get a hobby.
I know. They're like, what do we do? What do we do? And then like when I called in, what actually happened the day I called into Adam's channels, I wasn't planning on calling in, but our anniversary was the next day. And I thought, well, maybe he has a message for me. And
he did.
His 1 year anniversary of his death was the week before. So it was right in the middle. And then, like I had said, and I'll say it again, as I got this purple orchid sent to me from work, and they were, in my head, I was expecting this fruit basket. And when a purple orchid showed up, I was just overwhelmed. Like, oh, wow, that was the last flower that my husband gave. It was given to his mom for her birthday just before he passed. She tried to keep this alive. And anyways, this purple orchid came back to us. It was very sweet, very touching. And then you said he's going to send flowers. I said, yeah, he sent this purple orchid. You're like, no, he's sending more. I'm like, girl. So the next day I opened the door. It was like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And I opened the door. It was my anniversary, of our anniversary, and the garage door. And I mean, I don't know how it got in the garage, but I was letting the dog out, and there was a bouquet of flowers from the flower shop, and it was from 2 girlfriends that had not even seen the reading from you. Yeah. And I was like, did you guys see the reading? They're like, what reading? What are you talking about? I'm like,
when I did that reading, and Pete just like, I saw it, like I knew it was just, and then I saw it on your Instagram, and then you're like, fam, yes, flowers. And I was so happy for you because I told you that he would send you flowers.
Yes.
He would find a way and I love this community. I love this connection that you two have. I love it. I almost feel like a gooseberry. In England, we say gooseberry when someone's like a third wheel. Third wheel sometimes, but it's all right. It's all right.
I feel like he will always be with me. Like I know it's only been a year, but I feel like no matter what happens, that I will always have him. I mean, he will always have his son, and they will always be connected too. I don't even, like, wherever I go, whatever I do, I know that he's there. He's kind of guiding it. So I'm not questioning it, and I'm not saying, are you going to be okay with this? I know he brought me these places. You know, he's like my guide.
Oh, I know. I love that. Jenna says, hi, I'm new. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, Jenna.
Do we just ask a question? Yes, you can. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to share with you a link so you can call in if you want, and you just want to have a chat with us, or you just want to share your experience, or you want to have if you have any other questions you want to ask. Why am I so nervous? I'm not like this on Adam's channel. I don't know.
I'm not nervous. I'm the nervous one. Don't be nervous. I'm not. I'm excited.
Great, actually. You're doing fantastic.
You got to tell my grade 10 teacher that. They were like, girl, sit down. You were going to pass out. They would put my friends in the front row, like my really funny guy friends, just to kind of make me giggle, because I'd be like, I can't breathe. Like, and now I'm like, I'm on YouTube.
Funny how things change.
We'll go with it.
Well, death does that as well. So it can change a lot of, I know for a lot of people who are left behind and they have to deal with the mourning of a loved one, especially a child, it's painful. It's very, very, very painful. But death, like in tarot, where I'm always reminding people, when you get the death card, it's not a bad card. It's a card of new chapters, something new is waiting for you. The old chapter, the old door closes and a new one opens, and it brings new opportunities. And we have Dana. I'm just going to bring Dana in. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Hi, my darling.
Can I tell them, Dana? She actually said what color the flowers were going to be, and she was right.
I did?
You did.
Oh, but I didn't remember. I got so much.
You just
wait. This like she's another one with the gift. Yeah, I know. It's like Dana. Yeah,
Jenny and I really have connected at the heart, and it's been such a blessing.
I love her.
It really has.
I agree.
I wanted to share with you, Fem, because I got so emotional last time, like crazy. But maybe it opened up something. I think it opened up a stuckness for me, what you did, more than anything, because I've held back a lot. But no one and I have communicated since his passing. But I'll share two little quick things. Right before he passed in the emergency room, my dad had passed a couple of years prior. And Noah was still in the emergency room, and he passed tragically because while he was there, they used the wrong size. I forgot what I've got MS, so sometimes I can't remember words. It was a bag, whatever that bag is called, ambu bag. They used an adult ambu bag and accidentally blew out one of his lungs. There was a power outage at the hospital, and they were trying to give him extra air. So ultimately, it caused a cardiac arrest. That's how he probably could have survived it, but because that happened, he did not. So it was a tragedy. Anyway, fast forward, while he was in the ER, I saw my father, who had passed, in the ER, standing there in front of another door in 3D. And I had been sick and I'd lost my voice. I could speak, but not very loudly. And I have enough medical knowledge to advocate for my son, but I was exhausted. And I said to a nurse, I said, I see my father. I said, I need my dad. I need to go speak to my dad. I need a hug. And she said, well, honey, go get a hug. I'm sure he'll be here for you. And I said, you don't understand. My father's dead. But mind you, I had not slept and I couldn't a couple of days because he had a virus. And I know she looked at me like, well, she's crackers or she's tired or whatever, but my dad was literally there. And I was like, part of me was relieved to see my dad, and part of me was like, no, Dad, I'm not ready. Don't come take him. Because I knew why I was seeing my dad. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of many experiences. And like I said, I'd had a past life, a near-death experience at 12. So anyway, since Noah passed, we've had multiple experiences. We always light a candle every night. We'd made an agreement when he passed by lighting a candle. That was a way to keep us always a family of 4. To have that light as part of his energy with us. Mm. And when we blow it out at night, we tell him we love him and good night. Much like speaking his existence here. Whenever it's a holiday, a birthday, something going on, somebody's really sick, he's around. So on our anniversary, which was recently on November 18th, Noah, and it was right after this last quick reading with you, when we had that little breakthrough, Noah started playing his toys in the house. We still have some. And he would play one and it would talk, and it doesn't have batteries. Mm-hmm. So it stopped. Mm-hmm. And so we don't think we're crazy, or because we have a tendency, I'm scientific and spiritual. Okay? So I look for the scientific part first, and then I go to the spiritual side. So he started playing another toy. And it was so all 3 of us would witness it at different times. My daughter was like, Mom, did you hear that toy playing earlier? Yes, Eden, I heard the toy playing. I said, it's your brother. It's our anniversary. He's here. So on Thanksgiving, the other night, my daughter was sitting at the dinner table talking to her friend on her phone, FaceTime, and I'm standing at the kitchen door right there at the table, and the light goes off. And it's a brand new, well, it's not brand new, but it's a newer chandelier light. And it's got one of those switches, a dimmer switch. Mm. And as she's sitting there and it goes off, she goes, Mom, the light just went off. And I said, yes, Eden, I saw the light just go off. It's your brother. I said, hey, Noah, I knew you would be here because it's Thanksgiving and we knew we weren't going to leave you out. I said, I love you, buddy. And she said, Mom, I'm going to my bedroom. And I go to the light and he had turned it completely off to the off position. And I had to click it and turn it all the way back on. So it's things like that. I mean, I have pictures on Instagram where there was a perfect heart in my coffee.
Aww.
So all along, there have been signs where I could feel it in my body.
But sometimes you're blocked with your own, with your own grief, with your own problems, with your own situations, and you can't even, you're not accepting those messages. And I think what happened with you was that, because we texted and we spoke after the whole that first reading that we had on Adam's channel, and then and I told you, and I said it's a matter of time until Noah will be able to start communicating with you. You'll be able to feel that and see that.
Yeah.
And it was a matter of days.
Yeah. I mean, and it was almost like, it wasn't so much that I needed you to give me any reading or feedback, if that makes any sense. It was like I needed to just write.
Yeah.
Because some of it didn't even make sense to me after I went back and looked. Does that make sense?
To me, it made sense because I know where you were when you did that. I know where you were not here.
Right.
You managed to sort of like shed your body, and your spirit was in another completely different dimension. And I could see that from the way you were writing it and the feelings.
Right.
what you were experiencing. So, and then you corrected it afterwards, and you said, hey, listen, it didn't make any sense to me, and I didn't say anything to you because I want you to have this journey. I want you to, I want you to ride this wave without having any influence from anyone else, especially me. And I saw that it was really important to you. And Dana, since the first time I saw you on Adam's channel, which was, I don't know, a couple of months ago when we had that first lightning reading.
Right.
Ask the angels, ask everyone who's here and who know you. Your whole face, your whole presence has changed. Right? I'll bring Shannon because she's waiting backstage. Hi,
I'm clapping, Dana. I'm saying I agree completely.
I'm whiter.
Tell me about it. I would even say since that breakthrough, you look lighter.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Your whole energy has changed, Dana. Your whole face has changed. You don't see it, you don't feel it at the moment, but we definitely see it. Like, it's apparent.
Well, thank you. I noticed when I spoke to you, I went back because at first I was humiliated. I felt humiliated.
No, why?
I don't know, because I felt exposed in a way because I've tried to hide the spiritual side, what my connectivity was, everything. If I help, I've tried to hide. Does that make sense?
Is that because of you're afraid of judgment or you're afraid of your power?
Because if and when I tried to people, I did it in an incognito way, always.
Okay. Yeah.
And so just everything, I just felt raw. I felt raw about what I was feeling about Noah. I felt raw about everything. And so
is that protection?
Yeah. And plus, since Noah passed away, I think that a lot of that I was trying to shut down my spiritual part for protection, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
And then I would open up some, and I'd get signs from Noah, and then I'd feel the pain, and I'd shut down again. Because like I told Femtero, I only found out within the last few months that was literally what caused my son's death. And I found out from a nurse that felt free to tell me because it came past the point of being able to sue. The time period had passed. She felt okay to tell me.
Do you think that's because she needed to get it off of her chest so her conscience was clear?
I guess so. It kind of opened up that wound again. That's only been a few months ago. So you understand how it kind of made you bleed all over again?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So you're kind of like, oh, then he possibly could have lived. So it's sort of like experiencing it again. And see, when we went in there, they'd popped his eye out, everything. And all I could do was put my hands on him, because a lot of times, if it was in conjunction with the hospital, I could do healing work in conjunction with. And there were times we experienced unexplained miracles. And those miracles, in turn, were able to allow, like, children's hospitals to do things that they would never do before that were able to help other kids. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Things that they wouldn't have risked that worked on Noah, that all of a sudden he got a miracle that they couldn't explain. So now they would try that procedure on other kids.
Sherry says, okay, is it me? Was Dana square brighter than the other three? Then Chance
I saw that.
Light flickered. Did you? Oh,
I did, and I couldn't figure out why. Like, my TV's not on. Like, I couldn't figure out why.
Look at the girls on this screen.
She notices it well. I have to bring someone else that's been waiting patiently backstage.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Welcome.
Loud and clear.
This is my first time live. I have a question. When I was like 12 weeks pregnant, I had a dream about my son. Well, about a baby that was going to be a boy. and he started communicating with me.
Oh,
But he's now here. But I
Wow.
don't know if that is a normal, because I used to go to church, Celestial Church, and one of the prophets said that one of my, I'm just using air quotes, one of my powers is being a prophet, dreaming about people and having the will to call up people and then just tell them about what I dreamt. Is that a normal thing that you witness? Because I also witnessed the death of my childhood friend as well.
You witnessed it
So based in my dreams. So
as in a
basically,
vision, as in a vision. Okay.
yes. Well, not physically vision, but in my dream vision, if that makes
Right,
sense.
right.
Because I know he has two boys and a girlfriend that he left behind. And he basically told me, I'm just going to rest. I'm just going to leave because I can't do this anymore. And then tell my girlfriend or the friend or my twin sister that I'm fine. So is that normal to experience that, or is it?
It's very normal because that means you have the gift, but it's just that it's so raw for you. Probably when you were growing up, you had, because especially when we're children, especially people who have this gift and who are spiritual, when you're a child, because you're quite, you're quite naive, you're not overburdened with problems and financial issues and bosses and whatever.
Yeah,
So you're a lot more pure and the energy is stronger. So your gift is a lot more accentuated than it is as you grow older. So I'm assuming that when you're a child, you felt different. You felt these you had these dreams, you were able to communicate or even hear things that other people
yes,
couldn't, but
yes.
you weren't aware, you weren't sure what it was or
I
whether it
was
was
scared.
normal, abnormal. Yeah. So you never spoke to, and that's the problem, because, and not really a problem, but the issue is that if you had someone to guide you when that was happening, this gift, you would have taken it and run with it and like it would have polished it, it would have been huge, and you could like really truly help people if you have visions like that in your dream and you're able to predict unfortunate events like deaths. I
Yeah,
also have that, and sometimes I completely ignore it, but I do unfortunately have that. With, and not with people that I don't know, but unfortunately with people I know, I have that feeling. And it is a very scary feeling. And not
yeah,
only is it a scary feeling, you sort of feel like I was given a gift by God that I don't want because I don't want to know.
yeah,
How do I deal with this? So I think what you need to do is find someone where you live close, someone where you can have, or even I can help you in any way I can, where they can help you understand your gift and how you can polish it, how you can use it, not to be afraid of it, how to
yeah,
interpret your dreams, how to interpret your visions, in order for you to be able to make more sense of the messages that are coming through, because you're bombarded with messages at the moment
yeah.
and you don't know what to do with them.
Because
And
sometimes I feel if I dream about somebody's death, or last time 2 3 years ago, I dreamt that one of my classmates was going to have a child, and I told her she wasn't pregnant yet. And then 2 months later, she just hit me up on Facebook and said, "Well, you're right, I am pregnant." And I was scared because sometimes I don't know what to do with the messages, or if, let's say, if I get to know you now and who you are, and before I know, next week I'll get like a vision or a message, and I don't know if I should tell you or like just keep bury it, like keep it to
It's like you
myself.
need a
So
mentor.
discernment.
yeah, a mentor. You need a mentor. I had mentors. I had psychics, I had tarot readers, I had clairvoyants. I had mentors. like, you know how therapists go to therapists because they also need a therapist. We also need a mentor, someone to guide us through it, okay? Because we don't know everything and we all have different gifts. And that's why we're here, because our gifts, my gifts, are not for everyone, you know, because someone else might prefer to go to a medium and channel and get a medium to tell them, to predict them their future and channel their loved ones. I do it via the cards. That's how I do it. Because why do I do it via the cards? And this is a tip. I trained myself because I was very psychic when I was younger without using cards. So I was getting all these messages and was crazy. And it's overwhelming. You don't know, and especially when you're young and inexperienced, you don't know what to do with those messages and how they feel. And, you know, is it happening? Who is this for? Is it for me? You start getting paranoid. It's just a mess. And what I did was I stopped doing it. So there were several years where I was like, I'm not going to channel. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just going to block anything spiritual from my life. That didn't help because obviously my gifts come out. You know, me too. I was telling people before they were pregnant, you're going to have a girl, and people were freaking out on me. They were like, who are you? What? You know, and then I learned to use the best way to control my gift is through the cards. So whenever I take this deck in my hand or any deck in my hand, and I've asked my guides to come through and help me interpret the message, that's the only time I allow anyone from the spirit world to channel, to use me as a conduit to channel messages. But it helps because I have it under control, okay? And they're super accurate because I'm super focused on it when I have the cards and when I'm about to do a reading. But I had to learn that along the way. And you will find your way. Could be cards, could be oracle cards, could be plain cards, could be anything. It could be light work, that you want to do some light work. You need to discover that. You need to start experimenting, discovering, you know, what are really truly your gifts. How can you help people? That's the main thing also. Because I also had to think long and hard. How can I help people with the message, with the information that I'm getting? How? And I started, and I did the YouTube, and I started the YouTube and doing free lightning readings. Why am I doing that? Because I want to help people. I want to do something with that information. I want to get it out there, and I want people to stop being afraid and feeling fearful of what we're doing. It's not contra to the religion, to any religion. It's not devil worshiping. It's not witchcraft. It's nothing. It's just we're like an antenna, like a conduit, where we're just receiving messages. That's all it is. There's nothing evil behind it. And that's why I started doing it. So what you need to do is start discovering yourself and your gifts, and you will find your path, and you will find how to control this gift, how to manage it, and how to help others. We need a lot more healers in this world, especially now.
That's sort of along the lines of what I called in for. I had a therapist who told me that I'm HSP, a highly sensitive person. And I've always, my whole life, just thought I was sensitive. But I feel people's energy. Like before, I can walk into a room and know that either someone's had a really bad weekend or something really exciting's happened. I can walk into the room. They haven't said a word. And they're always blown away. Like, how do you know that? And I can just feel it. So is that something separate from what you do or from these gifts that you guys have?
You're highly empathic. Highly.
Is that something separate though?
No.
What do you think, Vero? Sam?
Sorry, I was to be honest, I wasn't listening to your question because we have a troll. And
yes, I tried to block it, didn't work.
I don't have
I blocked her now. She's the same troll that was on Adam's show, I think a couple of lives ago. I'm sorry, I'm back with you. So
That's
sorry.
Okay.
We have to get rid of her. So can you repeat?
Bye, Bonnie.
Yeah,
Okay.
hi, Bonnie.
Bye, Jolene.
Exactly why I said it like that, Dana. Okay. So I had a therapist once. No, let me try that again. So my whole life, like my parents have always been like, you're so sensitive, like just toughen up, get a thicker skin. I had a therapist tell me that I'm actually an HSP, a highly sensitive person. I can walk into a room and immediately tell that someone's had trauma happen over the weekend, or they have had an incredible holiday, whatever it is. They haven't said a word to me. So I'm wondering if, and as Dana said, I'm a highly empathetic person. So I'm wondering if that's the same as the gifts that you're referring to. Is that something that I could work on and have that same gift that you guys have, or is this something separate?
Everyone can work. You know, a gift is a gift. Yes, it's a gift. You're born with it. But a lot of people, everyone actually has that gift. For others, it's heightened. For others, it isn't. And of course, you can work on it. And especially if you're highly empathic, then you can definitely, you're one step closer to being able to do this work. For sure.
So how do you guard yourself then, is my question. How do you guard yourself? Because, for example, like I didn't know what had happened with Jenny, but like from the moment I saw her in the chat, I felt pain. It's weird because she doesn't seem to feel pain. I love listening to her because she actually feels joy talking about her husband.
Right.
I'm getting choked up just talking about it. Oh, I'm hurt. So how do you guard yourself from these energies?
Well, there are different ways of doing it.
I'm sorry.
I always meditate before I do readings, or before I come on to YouTube. I meditate and I ask my guides and I talk to them directly. I connect with the white light. I ask for the white light to protect me, ground myself. I ask for my guides to keep me grounded, because I don't want to, keep this energy with me for a long time, for days on end, which might happen. I have crystals. I do a lot of meditation work. I sage, I cleanse, I do all sorts of works, and I communicate all the time with my guides. So my guides are like my best friends. I always, how Jenny was saying that she talks to her husband all the time, internally and externally. Same thing with me and my guides. It's just the same thing. I ask for things and they deliver, but it's just me. It's just, you need to be at that level where you're able to see when they're delivering or when they're communicating. But with training, everyone can do this. You can definitely do this, Shan.
I don't know if I want to, because I'm not protected enough. I haven't figured out how to channel that. Last question. What would be the best protection crystal from the negative, or to protect my sensitivity?
Your sensitivity. I mean, all crystals are protected. I'll give you a very easy tip. Any black crystal.
Oh,
for
and
instance,
I don't think I have a single black in my collection. Okay.
They absorb the bad energy, the evil, the low vibrations. That's what they do. They absorb. Even if you don't have crystals at home, I tell this to everyone.
Wait, she's back. She's back. We got a new one.
Where is she?
We got to Tell Me.
God, where is she? What's her name? Is Bonnie, right?
Tell Me. This time it's Tell Me.
I can't see her.
It's called TELL Me.
I don't have mod duties, or I do it too. Or at Billy.
I'll message you guys later how to do it. It's super easy. How to get with
thank you. Thank you for that. We're still trying to. Oh, not at all. She knows who I am. Tell Me says. Okay. Okay. We'll have to have a mod next time. Obviously, they're trolls.
Any black crystal.
So black crystals, and if you don't have a black crystal, you can even light up a black candle.
What?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, it absorbs the energy, the bad energy.
Did not know this.
My mother used to tell me anything black brings bad energy.
Brings?
So
No.
I always light up white candles.
White candles.
So now that I know this, Sorry?
Now, well, white candles. I mean, I use white candles when I do readings. There you go. I always light a white candle when I do readings. That's me inviting my team of spirits to come forth and help me, and they're here to protect me. White is also used in witchcraft, but they're different. There, I have no idea. I don't dab in witchcraft or anything like that. But generally white is not associated with, you said it's associated with bringing evil or
No,
absorbing
with
evil. No, with
casting away evil.
casting
From-
away evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of what I want, because I want to shield. Like, I get hurt so easily. Like, you could just say the simplest thing, like, I didn't like the way you said the word and I will be hurt for like 2 weeks. So I want like a shield from that. So black crystals. Got it. Thank you so much for your time, Fem.
You're welcome. I mean, have a black crystal on you or at home. I have two. My
Okay.
living room, one in the hall, in the entrance way,
Yeah.
and I wear this as well for protection.
Brilliant.
So it's all you need, and it does help. And if you feel that your energy is very low, that you've been affected by people, just sleep with a crystal under your pillow.
They're everywhere.
Oh yeah,
But unfortunately, they're usually pink or blues. So, okay.
They're pink. And also amethyst is really good. So if you want to do spiritual work, if you want to do spiritual work, amethyst is amazing. Okay. You can also use, of course, the all-time classic and favorite, which is the
selenite.
Clear, not selenite. Oh my God, what happened?
Isn't that just quartz?
It's quartz. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, oh.
I was like, that looks really just like quartz. Okay.
Yeah, a quartz is always really good. It's protective as well. So
it has now I have an excuse to buy more.
There you go. I mean,
I love that. Me too. I was thinking that. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get a necklace.
I like the bracelet.
We'll buy you crystals for Christmas. And I'm like, no. I have enough.
Thank you for your time. And I'm sorry about the sunglasses. I have a migraine, so I'm going to head to bed. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you for sharing your story and being vulnerable for all of us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for the support, Chan. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Sorry, before I leave, I also have a question about because I know you do tarot cards as well and horoscope.
I do. Yeah. I do astrology as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Scorpio.
No, that explains a lot.
I would like to know, like, what's in it for me, right? Well, not right now, but in the future, as in general. We
said that we're going to do 2 lightning readings in the end. We're already 1.5 hours.
Oh, sorry.
No, do you want a lightning reading? I can.
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll because we're already 1.5 hours, Jenny. I mean,
You went like that.
Sorry.
We talk. You get us, and we're talking.
I know, we're like, but it's so interesting because I mean, you can talk about this for hours on end. You can talk about these topics, and obviously, we didn't even scrape. We didn't even touch the surface of it. We didn't even go deep. So maybe we'll continue next time. But thank you so much, everyone.
Sorry, guys.
Thank you so much.
So let me do a little. So what was the question? You want to know?
Just because I'm a Scorpio, so I would like to know, like, in general, like, love life, health, and wealth.
Okay, I need
not in a financial side, but
okay, this is gonna be a quick one. So normally I do one question because we don't have all day, and I can't do like a big spread because that's gonna take hours or at least 1 hour. So I'm just gonna throw some cards and see what they have to say about your future. Okay.
Thank you. Always wanted to do this, and every time I come in, I'm late. So I feel honored to be on.
Oh, thank you for being here.
No problem.
So let's see. Okay, so it seems to me that you've been working hard on something. There's something that you've been planning and working on for the last almost year, 7, 8, 9 months. And you're going to start, and you're already starting to see the results of this, the good results. Like it's starting to pay off for you. And you will feel that even more coming into the new year. Let me show you the card. 7 of Pentacles. So does it resonate? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, coming into the future, another 7. So what's going on with you now is sort of like a reconstruction of Mims. It feels to me that it's like you're reconstructing a little bit your life and yourself, trying to really be honest, more honest with yourself and your life and what you want to do. And because now I have the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords, this is in the future position. So what's coming up for you? So I see that maybe people that you've had dealings with, or people that you know that for a long time you felt that they haven't been exactly the best choice to have around, because for whatever reason, and mostly I'm gonna say because I feel the energy that they're sort of dragging you to the opposite or different direction than the one that you want to go to. So, and there is sneaky behavior there, just so you know. So there is something below the surface that you're not aware of. It's sneaky, and this is coming. So you need another 7-8 months until you feel that you have your life under the control that you want to have it, and where you start seeing positive results.
Yeah.
Because you've been working on certain things and you've been feeling disappointed, and you've been feeling that, how much longer, and is this ever going to get better? It started. It has started. It's already getting there. But you need, in January, end of January, you're actually going to see the results of that, the beginning of those results. So just be aware of people that you're dealing with, or that or that you hang out with. Just beware, because not all of them want your best interest.
Okay.
But generally, yeah, I'm gonna say 10 of Wands. Why did I get the moving card? You're probably moving as well.
I had a dream about
There you
being
go.
in 2 different places.
There you go.
And in my head, it's always like, I need to move.
Well, you won't be moving.
It's because of the things that I want to do. That's why. Like, I think you're my 3rd person giving me the message.
Well, it's loud and clear. There you go. I'll show you
So,
the card. That's my moving card for me. So it's a good thing, right? A new change, new chapter. It's a wonderful thing.
that it's
Do it.
wonderful.
Do it.
It's just a confirmation now that I should.
It
make a
is.
step.
Well,
Yes.
they sent you that message for a reason. So
Yes.
In your
thank
head, where
you.
are those voices coming from? You have to move.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't want to keep.
thank you for
on
calling, Mims.
Thank you so much.
Time.
No problem. Thank you.
And one thing, can I
much
add
for
one
having me.
thing?
Yes.
Can I add one thing to Mims really quickly? You were saying, for me, I recently started getting messages and I thought, do I deliver this message? Are these people going to think I'm crazy? And I think for me, what always was the answer was, I think the other side wants to be heard, and I think they want their love to be sent along. I think it's all about the reasoning behind it. Even if I lose a friend in the process, I'm sending that love along, and love is never wrong.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
I shall keep that in mind.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Thanks for calling. Bye. So we have JK here who's asking, how do I call in? I'm really sorry, Jay, but we've already been live an hour and a half, and I think that's way too long. But please join us next Monday. We'll be back on same time, and we'll be talking about other topics, or maybe we can even expand on this same topic next week as well. Jenny will be here with me. Dana, I hope you'll join us.
Thank you.
You're just the best. You're just support, and I love you.
We love you. You're sunshine.
Thank you.
So we would love to see you next week, and the other angels as well, and everyone who's new on this channel and here, because I can see a lot of people like, how do we call in? So we'll be doing more lightning readings. I promise next week. You know, I'll get this together. I'll get more organized next week.
This was
on time. But also I'll be doing lightning readings tomorrow on Up and Adam, the channel here on YouTube. And I'll be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if anyone wants a lightning reading, they can also join that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Femtaro. This was amazing.
Thank you,
I love connecting with all of you, and thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. So I just wanted to say before we go that please subscribe, press the like button. Join us on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, Twitter, not so much anymore. Who likes Twitter? Everyone's crazy there. Anyways, no judgment here. I've also got a Patreon account, because in the future, when I have more subscribers, what I want to do is I'm going to do lightning readings over there on Patreon, and I'm just going to charge like, I don't know, $5-10 or something like that for 2 questions. I don't know. I have to figure out how I'm going to do it, but that's also going to come up in the future. And so Jenny and I will see everyone next week, next Monday here. Thank you, everyone. And apologies again if we didn't get your call.
Always next Monday.
There's always next Monday. Exactly. And it's not a blue Monday. It's a spiritual Monday, mystic Monday. Thank you, Jenny, as well, for sharing your story. It's really, really touching. And I agree with Dana and Chan when they say that, you know, it's very recent what you went through. It was just a year ago what you went through.
Yes.
And you have a baby as well. So it's just too much, but your energy is amazing. It's just like, it's contagious. You know, you make everyone smile and shine around you. And I have no words.
Well, thank you. I feel the same way about you.
Thank you. Okay, enough. They're going to be like, all right, stop it, girl. Stop it.
No. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.
You too. Bye, everyone. Till next time. Bye.